Hey guys, thank you for taking the time to check out this video. If this is your first time to my channel, I am Heather and I like to share about everything in my life on my YouTube channel and my blog, whether it be makeup artistry, motherhood, family life, faith, my different business endeavors. But today what I want to talk about is a little bit about faith and also about how I quit drinking alcohol, and I haven't drank alcohol for 2 years now. So it's been 2 years that I've been sober, and it's really weird to even hear myself say that out loud. I've been thinking about doing this video for about 2 months now because my 2-year anniversary of not drinking was in February. That date hit, I was thinking, wow, it's been 2 years, and just kind of thinking about my journey a little bit, and I thought I would like to share. And the reason I share all aspects of my life or the different topics I choose to share on my social channels are because it's very healing for me to share. And I have actually experienced healing from reading and watching stories of people that have gone through similar things that I have gone through, and that helps me to feel less alone in whatever situation, whether it be a success or a struggle. And it just is a very healing process, I find. Really cool for me to relate to people that I may not otherwise get to meet or interact with on a regular basis, and have that experience with them online and kind of create a new friendship and create a connection that way. So that's why I share, and I don't think that drinking is bad. That is not why I created this video. I think that drinking alcohol in moderation is fine, and I think that it is for some people and not for some people. And it took me a really long time to realize that it wasn't for me. So that is the story that I want to share today. I am not sharing the fact that I think alcohol is like really bad. I just know that it's not right for me, and I wanted to share my story. So I quit drinking alcohol, like I said, about 2 years ago, and it was after I had had my first child. Luke was a few months old, and I had a couple drinks here and there after he was born, and I specifically remember the night I had a glass of wine. I was at the theater, and I just thought, you know what? This is my last glass of wine. I am officially done with this. So let's backtrack a little bit. I was definitely a party girl. I went through a party girl phase for sure. I would say, like, starting in high school and then leading into my 20s, I would party and drink, and I would have like these really crazy fun times, but then I would feel really bad the next day. And I'm talking hangovers that are not just my body feeling crappy, but emotionally I was really feeling down. And I would spend the next couple days after I party just like emotionally feeling really down, and not really liking myself that much, and having very low self-esteem and anxiety about things that I may have said or done that I kind of regret. And I would say that this cycle went on for 5 years before I got pregnant, of me partying, feeling really crappy emotionally, thinking at the beginning of the week on Monday or Tuesday, I'm not going to drink anymore, or I'm just going to go to the party next weekend and have 1 or 2 drinks, and I'm going to be able to know my limits and just have 1 social drink or 2 social drinks, and then I'm going to be done. And then Thursday or Friday would creep around. I would go to a party or go out with some friends, and I could never just have 1 or 2 drinks. And then the cycle would happen again. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, feel crappy, feel low emotionally, think, okay, I'm done. And I remember having days where I would literally like sit in the shower on Monday morning trying to get myself ready for the day. And I had a relationship with God at this time, and I would pray, God, help me to not feel like this, help me to get through this, help me to not feel like this, I won't drink anymore, I don't want to drink anymore. And then the weekend would come again, and it would just happen all over again. And it was 5 years of that, I would say, really, where I really struggled with this roller coaster of emotions and circling around alcohol and drinking. So it was about 5 years of this emotional roller coaster, thinking that I do want to quit, and then really having these fun times on the weekend and not being able to find a balance and just riding this emotional roller coaster. When I got pregnant, and I obviously couldn't drink, which was fine. When I had a reason, like a baby in my belly, that I needed to keep safe, it was really easy to not drink when I had my pregnancy. And I had some other anxieties going on in my life at that time, and I really started to dive into my faith. And I really put God at the center of my life. And while I've always had a relationship with God and had a relationship with Jesus, I have never fully put God at the center of everything I do. And my anxiety while I was pregnant got so bad that the only thing left to do was to put God at the center of my life. And it's really unfortunate that it took serious anxiety and stress in my life to put God at the center of my life. But that's what it took for me, and that's what I did. And once I did that, that's when it really became less about me trying to quit doing something and more about allowing God to help me overcome this addiction and anxiety and depression in my life that alcohol was such a huge part of. And again, it wasn't easy at the beginning. I would say, like, even so, when I had my last drink and I said I'm done, I still struggled a little bit with, like, well, now what am I going to do, like, when I go to the parties and stuff? Are people going to think I'm weird because I'm not drinking? You know, are people going to not invite me anymore to the parties because I don't want to lose all my friends? I still want to be able to go out and have fun with my friends, but are people going to treat me differently? Are they not going to invite me? So I still went through this whole, like, emotional struggle when I gave up alcohol, but I just prayed about it. And I can tell you that it was still hard, and there are times still when maybe I feel left out of a situation, but I just pray. And I've just learned over this period of time to just pray about everything. And so with this walk and quitting drinking, I just have learned to lean on God a lot and just trust that if He's not putting me in a situation, maybe it's because I couldn't handle it, and He's keeping me safe from that. Or maybe I just need to have time away from being with people to maybe learn a lesson that God is trying to teach me. So I just really just trust God a lot more. And like I said, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily easier, or that I don't think about it sometimes, but I just, because my relationship with God is so much stronger, it's easier to cope with the hard times, I think is what I'm trying to say. So, and there were a couple pivotal moments when I went through this experience, because one of the things that I really struggled with is, like, well, a lot of people around me, you know, drink, and why can't it be okay for them but not for me? And I remember saying this so much to God in my prayer. Well, why is it right for this person but not for me? Why is it right for this person but not for me? And God spoke to me and He said, you know what, Heather? You can drink. You can. But if you do, you will not be able to fully fulfill the role that I have laid out for you, the role that you were uniquely created for. So if you drink, you can, but you won't be able to fully fulfill the role that you were created to fulfill. And I want to be set apart for God. I want to fill that role. But sometimes that's hard, because we are all uniquely created. And so it's very easy to look around like I was and say, well, it's right for them. Why can't it be right for me? We're all different, and we all have our own path to walk. So I need to just worry about my own path and my own relationship with God and do what's right for me. So what's right for me is not drinking. So that is my story of quitting drinking and being sober for the last 2 years. Through this whole walk, I have grown so much more close to God and to Jesus, and I'm just really grateful for the entire experience. It's amazing how God can take some of the worst, lowest areas of our lives and make them something so amazing and glorious. So I'm grateful for that 5 years of roller coaster because I learned so much from it. And I also have learned that when we start walking with God, we don't have to be perfect. For so long, when I would go through that roller coaster and I would have a wild weekend and I would maybe do some unsavory things, I used to think like, okay, I can't go to church on Sunday because I've been bad and God hates me, and I would be so afraid of that. But I learned that God loves me the same today as he did 5 years ago. It doesn't matter what I do, God loves me the same. So I can ask for forgiveness and I will be forgiven. And I just need to accept that forgiveness. So for a long time I thought, well, I have to be perfect before I have a really good relationship with God. Well, that's not the case. You don't have to be perfect before you have a really great relationship with God. You can have an amazing relationship with God just the way you are today. And I promise you, by allowing yourself and allowing God to be a part of your life, he will do great things for you. So I had to wrap my head around that too, because for a long time I thought I was bad, so I couldn't talk to God or be near God until maybe I get away from those bad things for a while. So I just kind of put that aside as well and accepted God into my life where I was at, even though I wasn't perfect. So that was another big kind of pivotal moment, and I'm equally as imperfect today as I was then, because I have lots of other things that are issues in my life, but God is working on all of them, and I just need to keep leaning on him. So that's my story and my experience with my journey to sobriety, and I just hope that you enjoyed this story, and if you have any thoughts or experiences on similar topics or similar subjects, I would love for you to leave them in the comment box below. If this video helped you at all, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you for hanging out with me and watching this. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.